Hi ADN students, this is Erin McGuire and I wanted to go ahead and welcome you to ADN 221, the pediatrics portion. This will be starting after spring break. And so just to kind of, go over the syllabus with you, go over my D2L and kind of show you, what my expectations are for the last 8 weeks. Can you wrap your heads around that? The last 8 weeks of this RN program. Okay, so here's the syllabus. This is what's posted in D2L right now. I am making a very, very small changes. So what I'll have you guys do on the first day is I will have you guys sign something saying that yes, you received the new syllabus. There's not a whole lot of changes, so you don't have to stress out about that. It's just a couple little things. So here is ADN 221, Spring 2020. Theory class is still going to be the same as OB. It's going to be on Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 to 11:30. Peds clinics, I'll go ahead and give you guys a separate screencast on that. Here is my contact info. If you guys need to reach me, email is definitely the easiest way to get a hold of me. Catching me in my office hours is pretty easy to do. And if my office hours don't work with your schedule, guys, shoot me an email, let me know if we need to meet, and I can try to schedule some face-to-face time with you guys. Now, textbook for peds, we're going to use Pediatric Nursing, the Critical Components of Nursing Care. This is by Rudd and Kosico. This is an F.A. Davis product, but I'll talk about F.A. Davis here. And then the book that we're going to be using for ATI is the ATI Pediatrics book. Course description, end of program, student learning outcomes, those are all going to be the same, so I'm going to quickly scroll through there. My outline, this is going to be the majority of what I'm going to cover. This may not be the order that I'm doing it in, but these are all the chapters and broad chapters that we will be covering in this part. That's OB, so let me scroll through there. All right, I do pediatrics in modules. Each module represents an exam, like the amount of content that will be in the exam. So module 1 will be your growth and development and communication. So because we are pressed for time, and it's not just this year, it's been every single year, I always have the students cover the growth and development chapters on their own over spring break. So you'll have chapter 6, which is growth and development, just broad growth and development. Chapter 7, which will be newborn and infants. Chapter 8, toddlers and preschoolers. Chapter 9, school age children. And chapter 10, adolescents. On the very first day of class, I will cover chapter 3, which will be family dynamics and communicating with children and families. It's a very, very simple chapter. There's not a whole lot that I'm gonna cover in that class. I'll talk to you about how we do talk to kids, and I have a fun little communication exercise that's kind of geared towards how we have to alter the things that we say to kids so that we don't basically terrify them. So that'll be the content for exam 1. I have your corresponding ATI chapters. Module 2, that's when we're going to start getting into the pediatric disorders. So also during the first week, we will be covering fluid and electrolytes. This will be a very basic review, and you don't actually have a chapter on fluid and electrolytes, so I have given you guys a PowerPoint that we will cover, but it does tie very closely with the GI and renal disorders chapter, which is why I want to cover fluid and electrolytes. So body systems are going to start with GI, which is quite large for pediatrics. It's one of the bigger systems that we're going to cover. So, make sure that you guys do your readings, stay with me on the GI disorders because there's quite a few of them. Renal disorders, that's not an overly large chapter, but still relevant with the GI stuff. Chapter 19 will be hematologic, immune, and your neoplastic disorders. So that will be your hematology stuff. Immune will be more like your HIV, compromised disorders. And then the neoplastic disorders are going to be your cancers. And then chapter 5 is end of life. And then I've given you guys your corresponding ATI chapters. Module 3, that is cardiorespiratory and neuro. I threw all those together, and that's it, only 3 chapters. But you should suspect that respiratory, cardio, and neuro are large chapters. So again, I'm going to lump those into one exam for you for Module 3. And then again, corresponding ATI chapters. And then Module 4, that will be your final exam. I don't do a comprehensive final because you have an ATI in this course and that's comprehensive enough. So the final chapters will be dermatologic, communicable diseases, musculoskeletal, endocrine, mental health, and reproductive and genetic disorders. And then there's the corresponding chapters. I have altered my course schedule a little bit, so this is where the big change is going to be in this recording. So I will give you guys my new schedule in just a second. I want to go through the rest of this. Grading scale is going to be the same. So here's how I do calculate my grades. So pediatrics is weight-based. You'll have 4 exams, which will comprise of 80% of your total grade, and then quizzes are going to be 20%. I've got where is it? Keep in mind this is team taught with OB. So in order to pass this course, you have to make a 78 or higher average in both components, okay? So you'll have to get higher than 78 for OB, you have to get higher than 78 for pediatrics. And then what Dr. Horiker and I will do at the end is we will take your 2 grades, average them together, and then that will be your final grade. You will only get 1 grade for 221, but keep in mind you do have to pass OB and pediatrics on their own. Okay, specific course requirements. Here we are. Okay, exams. So like I said, I have 4 exams in this course. The first 3 exams are all 50 questions each. Exam 4 is going to be bigger because I have more chapters. I'm leaning towards 75 or 80 questions for that one. You have to get 70 or above on all 4 exams. Anything less than 70 will result in a failing grade for 221. Absences, I have the same penalty for all of my courses. So if you're absent from an exam, then a 3-point penalty will be assessed, and then you get 1 point per day that you delay taking the exam. I also reserve the right to administer an alternate form of the exam for makeup exams. So if you don't come to class on exam day, do not expect to take the same exam that your classmates took. It's just, that's the fairest way that I can be when it comes to makeup exams. So I just want to put that out there. Quizzes can occur during any time. I almost always do my quizzes on Wednesdays because this is a 90-minute lecture. It's hard for me to lecture enough content on Monday to give you enough content for a quiz. So traditionally what I do is I do exams on Mondays and quizzes on Wednesdays. I will always tell you on Monday what the quiz content will be on Wednesday, so there shouldn't be any surprises there. The pediatric community project, that's our egg extravaganza. You guys should be all in committees by now. You should be submitting supply lists to Ms. Hampson and myself so that we can get going on this because we're at crunch time. We've got a month until the egg extravaganza. ATI, you guys know that I have ATI associated with this course, so I'll go over that in a little bit. As for the rest of things, this should not be anything new. Academic honesty, professional behavior, incivility, these are all things that I expect in the classroom. We're all professionals, so we need to treat each other as such. You know, I like to talk to you guys. I like to banter with you guys in the classroom, but you know, there is a fine line between professionalism and incivility. So let's please keep it professional, especially as we get towards the end and we're all tired and we don't all want to be there at all times. I get it, completely understand. But we still have 8 weeks of content that we have to get through. Okay, so that is the course syllabus. So like I said, on the first day of class, I'll have you guys sign that you understand the changes in my content. So let me give you a quick rundown of my D2L course. It should be open. If you guys can't see it, please let me know. I opened it all this week. So you guys can see all down here is where all the pediatric stuff is. So I have the Peds course information, which is where my office hours, my ATI product codes are. Module 1, I can go ahead and get you into here. So here is Module 1. So you'll have your reading assignment. You will have, these are the PowerPoints that go with the book. Guys, they are nothing impressive. So I do not lecture from these in class, but they are there for your benefit if you're someone who likes to outline the chapter. I mean, the only benefit I could see to it would be using it to help you do an outline. And then this is where I will be lecturing from, my student PowerPoints. So you guys can print these, bring these to class. So again, the first day of class, I'm going to go through communication. Sometimes I'll have theory resources in there that are kind of graphs or tables that I've made to kind of help you just quickly glance at things. Module 2, like I said, you've got exactly the same way. Your reading assignment, your Rudd and Kosako PowerPoints, and then there's my student PowerPoints. So like I told you guys, I don't have a chapter specifically on fluid and electrolytes, so I made you a presentation. So here's your PowerPoint presentation for you. GI, renal, heme, immune, neoplastic, end of life, and then there. Now, I actually will be absent for one of the days, and I'll go through this on the course lecture again. Here are the recorded lectures that I have done so far. They're not open because I'm not done with them yet, but I have made them into nice little small less than 10-minute lectures. Okay, so these will be anytime I either miss class or something I'm not going to cover, I will provide you guys with a recorded lecture. Okay, and that's all the basics. Module 3, Module 4 are all set up the same way. Peds clinic information is all under this tab. I've got it tabbed for you guys. Like I've got your clinic groups here, the egg extravaganza stuff, Robin's Nest Learning Center stuff, all in here for you. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my revised course schedule. So this will be the spring 2020 revised course schedule that I'm looking at. I've got the dates in here for you. This is subject to change. This is the first time I've lectured out of this book. So this is my hope. This is what I'm hoping will happen. But if it doesn't, we'll make adjustments. Okay. So week 1, March 16th and 18th. I get that the 16th is a big day for you guys in terms of an OB ATI. So I hadn't expected to do a real heavy lecture that day. So I'm going to do communication. I'll do a fluid and electrolytes review. On Wednesday, March 18th, that is when I will really start into the body systems. I'm going to start GI that day. You will have a quiz on that Wednesday over fluid and electrolytes lecture from Monday. Okay. Week 2, March 23rd, we're looking at exam number 1. So those will be all those growth and development chapters that you're going to read for me over spring break, and communication. Okay. You have 1 hour to take your exams, which leaves me with 30 minutes, and I will use that 30 minutes to lecture. So don't plan on bolting after the exams. Okay. You're going to miss vital content if you do. I've got GI that we're going to wrap up on Monday. Wednesday, March 25th, that is the day that I will not be there. So you will not have class for me, but I will give you guys those cancer end of life chapters that you will need to listen to and cover on your own. So don't take it as a free day. Take it as a day that may be getting caught up from the previous week. Week 3, March 30th, April 1st, I will go on to genital urinary disorders, and I will cover hematologic and immune disorders on April 1st. Week 4, we're looking at exam 2. That's GI, GU, heme, immune, cancer, end of life. Pretty heavy content, okay? Another 50-question exam is the plan for that. And then I will start respiratory disorders. Respiratory disorders is huge, guys, so I will start lecturing as soon as exam 2 is done, and I will wrap it up on Wednesday. Week 5, we will do cardiovascular and neuro. This is where I'm nervous. I'm nervous that I'm going to run out of time. So tentatively, I have your exam scheduled for April 20th for exam 3 for respiratory, cardio, and neuro. And then we will start in on the exam 4 content on the 22nd. So dermatologic, musculoskeletal. Week 7, we'll continue with musculoskeletal endocrine. Week 8, I'm looking at communicable diseases, mental health disorders, developmental disorders. And May 11th, this is a day, I mean, it is, the college has granted us this as a lecture day, so I will utilize it if necessary. So if my content is done, great, we don't have to use it. But if for some reason we do get pushed back, we do have this day built into the calendar. Exam 4 is going to be Wednesday, May 13th from 10 to 11:30 in the morning. And your ATI is scheduled for Friday, May 15th from 12 to 2 p.m. Okay, so this is where we're at. This is what we're looking at for pediatrics. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the screencast so I can do a separate one for you guys on your clinic portion. If you guys have any questions, get a hold of me, and I look forward on getting you guys to the end of the program. Thanks.